Hey guys, welcome to Nifty World. I'm Bex, and in today's video, I'm interviewing the Shogun Samurais, a project which is born out of 6 college students from Singapore who in just 1 month amassed an amazing 30,000 people in their Discord community. They've just started minting as of time of recording, and actually they're selling like hotcakes, which is amazing. So the hard work has only just begun, because what we're exploring is what their roadmap is going to deliver for that all-important community moving forward from the initial mint. So if you want to learn how to keep that momentum going, then make sure you watch this video. Don't forget to like it, subscribe to this channel, and of course, get involved with lots of other brilliant projects as they speak about them on our Twitter space each and every Monday. But for now, let's dive right in. Okay, so joining me now is both Leon and Benjamin, who are part of the Shogun Samurai team, which is an amazing project. It's bringing back fantastic artwork and also the culture of the way of the Bushido or Bushido, however you think it's best to say. And they're doing some really interesting things around the post-mint stage of their project. So at time of recording, you guys have started to mint, and it's ongoing as we understand at this stage. So welcome to Nifty World. Thank you for joining me all the way from Singapore.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
A pleasure. Now, I have to say congratulations. You guys have built an incredible community. I mean, your Discord is like 30,000 strong, which is amazing. And I think it's over, is it 11,000 people on Twitter as well? You've got some incredible backing of a community behind you. So I wanted to talk about what happens after you mint your project and how to keep that momentum for your community going. And that happens by delivering a great roadmap. So let's just start by Leon, I suppose, telling me a little bit about how the project came about and why you decided to do this in the first place.
All right, so actually I was the one who asked like the 5 other of my group teammates to join me in this project, because I think I saw an opportunity in the NFT scene to promote like the artwork. And also like it's a great opportunity for us to try our hands on this like new up and coming NFT, where like not everyone in the general public knows like exactly what it is. So I was the one who actually got Cubes, our artist, to draw up all our artwork. So basically it's just like 6 college kids we're dreaming to put our name out there in the NFT scene. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you are so forward thinking, that we're new in this space and there is a big opportunity for you. So how do you think, before we go on to after the mint, why do you think your community has become so strong so quickly? Because you've only launched the project, say, a month ago or so?
Yeah, so I think first the community grew when we spread like our names around in the Singapore community like chats. So, and also I think having a face out there, people like have trust in you, because like we commit ourselves to developing the project. So so basically like faith and trust in us. And also I think we must be transparent with them with what we are doing. So at every step of the way we take any steps, we explain to them our rationale, our thoughts behind it, and we also accept any feedback if we can. So definitely we consider their opinions, and then if we feel that there are some things that we didn't consider, we will reconsider our decision. So the community always feels like they are part of the decision makers.
Yeah.
So they have something something to play in the project, and that's why like we have a very strong community.
Yeah. And Benjamin, like you guys on your website, you have a white paper. You guys have approached this in a very business-like way, and it sets your objectives out very, very clearly. Were you all aligned in this, or has it changed as the month or so has gone on to minting?
I think when we started out, we had a vision for what we wanted our NFT project to be. we saw an opportunity for so we wanted the NFT project to be more than just a profile pic. We wanted to create a community of we believe what makes an NFT project successful is actually the community behind it. If you take a look at one of the most successful projects out there, CryptoPunks or Bored Ape Yacht Club, they do have a roadmap. They have things in line like staking. They have next second seasons, etc. But ultimately, what makes the project successful and what actually draws people in is the community. And that's why we've been so community driven in terms of the way we built up this project and the way we market it as a community first project.
Yeah, you said on your website, it says putting it's the art and community approach. So, and the artwork is amazing. Like, I think anyone will be drawn into this project if you're a fan of, this wonderful kind of Bushido style artwork. And, why did you decide to focus on that particular artwork of Shoguns and that? What does that represent for you?
I think, okay, maybe I can answer the question. Yeah, maybe I can answer the question. So I think for a start, like our artist, he wasn't really in the NFT scene. He has a strong community of artists within his circle, but so they were all in the NFT scene, but he wasn't really like familiar with what to draw in terms of generative art, because in this case, when we do like 8,888, it must be generative art. So for him, what we did was, me and him, we went on his Instagram page. Actually, we scrolled through what he has drawn and like what actually makes sense.
Yeah.
For that to be the generative aspect, and what he's comfortable with drawing. Secondly, and thirdly, like what we think can appeal to the public. And in this case, when we saw one of the particular drawing that he had, which was very samurai-like, I was like, hey, I think that's a good thing that we can build on. Yeah. So it wasn't like really planned, but it was just more of like
it's organic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just grew out of the scenario and the situation, which is really interesting. But there are a lot of fans for that artwork, so it was a very clever, strategic, organic move, I think.
Yeah. So from then on, after we decided on the samurai, then we started thinking of a storyline. Yeah. So it wasn't like a storyline, then the drawing, but it was more of the drawing than the storyline.
Amazing. Okay, interesting. And the way of the Bushido, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think it's Bushido. The culture and the what a Bushido represents and things. That's a lot of stuff that people will resonate with as well. So a really, really clever move. I want to talk about let's get on to the mint, because at the time of recording, you've just released the mint this weekend that's just gone. A very successful. I think when I checked last, you had 5,000 sold, 2,500 wallet holders, which is basically halfway, which is incredible. And they hadn't been revealed yet. Yeah. So the question I have for you is, obviously there are 8,888 in total, but you have only released 5,000 initially. Why did you choose the strategy of the slow mint?
I think maybe you're mistaken. We didn't release like 5,000 initially. We opened up all 8,888 mint, but it just happened so that we didn't mint finish. So it goes back to like what I was saying, that when we launched, we were kind of like in a bear market of NFT, and it wasn't like a situation we were surprised about, but rather we feel that it's not something that sets us back. A lot of projects are like judged. The success of a project is judged whether on how fast it means finish, but we feel that's not very accurate, because it doesn't mean there can be a lot of pump and dumps, or when it reviews, the artwork may not be that nice. Yeah, so for us, we actually had we made sure like our anti-bot measures were high. The wallet, the number of samurais in each wallet is limited, because it falls back to what we intended to do in the first place, to build a community. And we don't want like one person to be holding too many, or like there can be bots attacks, and then after they dump. So that wasn't what we were going for, which might but I won't blame it on that we didn't sell finish. But that might be the reason that we didn't sell finish. But that's not something that we are afraid of. What we're currently doing is we're constantly updating the community on the next steps forward, what we are building, and actually the community is very how do I put it? Yes, they're actually very supportive, and actually they are giving us suggestions like every steps of the way. Even like when we hold like Twitter raids, there are like so many of them joining. Up to now, maybe when we release a sneak peek, there are still like 300-400 upvotes. So we can still see that the community is there.
Yeah.
So it is, in my opinion, a successful project.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think a community wants to feel like they're decision makers as well, you know.
Right.
So that is a really clever scenario to put them in, is you're asking what should we do next and listening, and you're not dictating, which is, you know, which again, for the community first approach, that means that they feel valued, which is really interesting. So the mint has happened. Apologies that I thought you'd only minted part of it, but the 8,800. What's good about that actually is that we don't get gas wars, because there's not been, you know. So that's good for I suppose for the community not having to compete in that, and so they can still be involved in the project. And it doesn't all sell out in 10 minutes. I mean, we can look at something like the Sevens as an example of when the gas wars happened. Very similar sort of style as well, project like art-wise and stuff as well. So there's similarities there. But I think, you know, for you guys, this is a much steadier rise to success, which is great. So now the hard work begins, because because you have the hype to the mint. Everyone buys the mint, people buy the mint, and then they go, now what? And you have to turn to your roadmap, or roadmap number one. I'm sure there will be new roadmaps in the future, and start delivering on it. So at 25%, you will be giving random airdrops, which is a great. You've already done that? Yeah.
The raffle.
And how has that been received?
I think it was received really well from the community. So what I did was, we had the raffles were done live streamed on the Discord channel.
Yeah.
And we can see many people joining it, hundreds of people joining to watch. And it was just a really engaging event for the community. It's really heartwarming to see how many people actually are taking part in these kind of community events that we are hosting.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is again, it's that added incentive for the community to feel even more involved, and that they're already getting something back for being part of the Shogun Samurais. So let's talk about there's bigger things that are similar to like the Bored Ape Yacht Club that you guys are looking into. So staking, and also your token as well that you'll be developing. Can we just talk about that? Because I think those are, not every PFP project decides to go down this route. So let's talk about staking. Can you explain, for anyone that's new to this space, what staking is and why you decided to apply that to your roadmap?
So basically what staking is you're committing your NFT into a lock for a period of time, and in turn you gain the tokens. So for us, it's show tokens. And in this case, the show tokens can have utilities to it, such as you can use it to mint the second season. You can use it to, like, say, for example, in our case, you can use it to purchase the merch. And there are many more utilities that you can think of, which currently we are building. Yeah.
Okay. And so was that something that was announced, you know, in the initial build up to the mint? This has always been something that you can have?
Yeah. So initially we wanted to just launch this as a PFP project. But, like, you know, getting so many members in the Discord, they all wanted us to, like, build something, and we felt that with the support of the community, it was something doable, because technical side, it's simple. Like, our smart contract developer Sean is very strong at it. He can do it. It's whether, like, the community is supportive of this action, and since they push for us to have it, and we hear that they want it and it's doable, we decide to move forward with it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So okay. So yeah, because it's in your white paper. So we know that it was something you were considering, but that's a very interesting, I think a lot of people will be interested in that approach that you kind of go, we can offer all of this. The community makes the decision on what you want. And that's been very well received.
Yes, that's been very well received.
Yeah, good. You had to think about
everybody likes to gain something, like other than just coding, they like to gain something from it. So which is something that we can offer,
And I think, there's things, I think for me as a collector, what I look for gamification, I look for opportunities of earning beyond my initial mint, that residual fee. And I think that's important that you guys are, adding that kind of element to it and benefits. And that's why obviously the community is behind it. Now, there's something that I really like that you wrote about, which is the long-term benefits of noticing that in your community, a lot of your community members have their own businesses, which you can expect. And so how do you integrate that within what you're doing to build the brand?
So it's like, it wasn't something I planned beforehand, but when we were interacting with the community, we heard that many of them have their own businesses. So just like for me, I just thought it would be so great if we can have a partnership with them. Like people holding out Shogun Samurais, maybe going to maybe their cafe, they can get a discount, which was something that actually we went to ask and they were receptive. They wanted to support the community too. Yeah, and also we are talking to this whiskey collector. He gives whiskey classes online. So we were asking whether he's able to give online whiskey classes to our community. So that's something that we are always working on.
We should, I was thinking you should do something like samurai sword classes or something like that. Learn the way of the samurai. That would be very appropriate. But whiskey's fine. We'll take whiskey.
Japanese sake. I think the interesting thing is that we actually found out there are many we actually found out the how the community can actually bring about the project. So there's only so much that us developers can do, but what the community brings, the added they give really a lot of inputs and opportunities to expand this project into a lot more than what the 6 of us can offer.
Yeah. And I always have to ask this of a project. Is there anything maybe exclusive that you haven't yet spoken about with your community that you can mention today that they may expect?
Exclusive. Actually, maybe not, because we always share with them everything that what we are planning out. Maybe say you say projects they are looking for, you look for gamification, or when you earn. I don't wish to elaborate too much because on all the open sea issues, but definitely that's something that we have planned, but we don't want to like put it out in words. Yeah.
That's fine. I just, I've got to ask. That's the thing. And, obviously there's other things on your roadmap, such as merchandise, which is something that I remember on our Twitter space, Sean was very, excited about and saying, already there's stuff that's going to be, Sean is another one of your team members, there's stuff there that's going to be, given out to the community. So there's those things that I think are stuff that I think the community appreciates, but actually it's the bigger things like the staking and, the opportunity to work with other businesses that I think is something that makes Shogun Samurais unique in a way as well, which is great. The other thing that I noticed from your roadmap, which I think is quite interesting, is the buyback wallet that you guys have mentioned. Can you talk a little bit about that and explain what that is and what your plans are?
Yeah, so a buyback wallet is actually we actually put in our project at 100%. We will set up a fund to buy back any samurais that's below the mean price. Why we are doing this is because if you don't like our samurai, we are very confident with the artwork.
Yeah.
But if you don't like it, we gladly buy it back from you. That's why the idea of why we have the buyback wallet.
Yeah, because I'm sure the reason is not because they don't like the artwork that they would be selling it. It may be just a financial scenario or whatever that they might be doing that. But that, why would they not like the artwork? It's hand drawn, you know, there's a lot of skill that's gone into that. So I think it's really interesting, and it's good to know that you can, but when you buy it back, what will you then do with the NFTs?
So then we use it for like community giveaways or like for marketing.
Yeah.
That's mostly it.
Yeah, and I think again that's all towards working for more opportunities for your community and building that, because there is always that issue with a mint where flippers will come, you know, will come on, they will buy, they will flip, or they'll just liquidate some of their assets and they might get some of the money back, which may be why some of them are on the floor. So it's good to kind of, keep on top of that. Do you guys ever sleep? Do you have time?
I will say the past few days haven't been the best, because like, you know, with the minting not completed, there's a lot of pressure from the community to like push certain things forward. Then as much as some people are spreading FUD, and then you know you have to go and like you have to go extinguish the fire, or like, you know, people are pushing for when's the next announcement. I mean, as much as we feel pressure from the community, we don't want to make hasty decisions, you know. We always feel like have a meeting, consider the pros and cons to every decision. So the past few days have been really busy,
But you've been busy working very hard for the community. I've got two more questions for you, and this is stuff that I think will help educate anyone that is deciding to set up their own project and learning from the success that you've already shown as part of yours. Firstly, what is the big vision for Shogun Samurais? Where, if all of your dreams for this project are achieved, what is the big end goal for your project?
Oh, that's a very tough question.
I love a tough question.
For me myself, the vision is like I can be out there saying like there are people whose PFP is actually Shogun Samurais, and those people are proud to be a part of the community because of they feel a belonging, and also because they feel like there's a utility to it. That's like the best I would envision Shogun Samurai to be, and I'll be very proud of it if it ever happens.
Did you expect the success that you've had so far? Were you like, it's happened so quickly? Is it quite overwhelming?
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
I would say it's really overwhelming because like we mentioned, I think Sean mentioned the first day, our target for our Discord group was about 100 members, but we actually closed the day when we just started launching to the public and sharing it. We expected about 100 members at the end of the day, but we actually got more than 1,000 members, and they were all really supportive and receptive. And I guess we were lucky because we got a good artist, and in the initial stages, the art really just sold itself, and people were really hooked onto it.
Yeah.
So a lot of things just come in by surprise, and we just take it as it goes, and we adapt, and we try to deliver the best we can for this project.
Yeah, absolutely. And my final question, I would say like over your experience, but it's only been a month, but from everything that you've learned, is there any advice that you would give to anyone that's wanting to set up their own PFP project or utility project? From what you've been through, discovered, what would be your advice to them?
I would say that it's not exactly easy, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go and try, because along the way, even if you fail, you learn a lot of things. Like for me, I learned how to work best within like this group of 6 of us, and like how do we tackle questions from everyone, you know, just how to handle the Discord, handle the community. There's like so many things that we learn.
Yeah. And Benjamin?
I think for me, it's just you have nothing to lose, and just go ahead and give it a go. Because like what Leon said, you never know what will happen. It might blow up, and you never know, and you really have so much to learn. And this whole journey has been amazing for us. We just learn many things, and we make new connections along the way, and it's been one hell of a ride.
Well,
last month.
You guys are just at the beginning. That's the exciting thing. The start of a hell of a ride. So I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much for talking to me today. It's been fascinating to understand your journey, your roadmap, and how you continue to deliver for the community. So thank you very much. Well, they have it, an amazing project, such hard-working developers. And the most important thing that I pulled out of this interview was really the fact that they don't make any decisions without asking their community first. And that is a big lesson that I think a lot of people who are thinking about starting their own projects in the NFT space can really learn from. So huge thanks to the Shogun Samurais, and huge thanks to you guys for tuning in to the video today. Please don't forget to like it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and of course join our Twitter Spaces each and every Monday. No matter where you are in the world, we'd love to have you. And of course, if you've got a new project that you want to talk about, the stage is always open as well. But for now, I want to leave you with loads more brilliant videos on my channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.